Hello all, welcome to Java Talent. In today's video, I'm going to cover basic Spring Boot applications like how we can implement the Captcha. So basically, everyone have gone through the registration of the pages, web applications. So if you see, there is the some of the website put a Captcha validation before if you are going to do a registration. So you need to validate the Captcha. So this will be basically the human being or it will be validated through the client program as well because there is the some hacker or something like there is the possibility that they can access your website by providing the HTTP client applications or from the programmer. So there is the developer. As a developer, you should have the knowledge. So how you can secure your Spring Boot application by CAPTCHA validation. Okay, so this can be also done from the simple Java applications like servlet based web application, embassy application, Spring Web embassy application, etc. But here in this case, we are going to cover this through the Spring Boot applications. Okay, so the CAPTCHA is the acronyms for CAPTCHA is completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart. So there is the multiple way to implement the CAPTCHA. Like if you have gone through multiple websites, so you have seen that there is the math problem. Like sometimes you need to provide the exact result, like 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. Text-based pattern, like there is the text given and you need to type the same text. There is a social media login as well, like through the Facebook, Instagram, Google, etc. You can validate your login. And there is audio captcha as well. So there is the hearing music you will show, you will sing, or you will heard the some text, some letters. It has been pronounced through the audio, and you need to type that character. And there is time-based captcha is also like this within the time stipulated timeline. You need to fill that form and you need to submit. And there is the confident captcha. So confident that captcha is the way like follow some kinds of instruction and they match the images. For example, there you have seen that click on the each image. There is the circle box, there is the square box, and we need to select the particular text. Okay, and then to suite captcha. Basically, it offers the users to perform some kind of job where they are moving or matching the items from one another. For example, you have seen the box with the multiple texts and you need to select that like street light, car from the object. So these many types of the captcha given. So you can select any one of them. So let's start with our applications. So here in this our applications, I am going to use text-based captcha. So first I will create the user registration page where I will take some three fields like username, user email ID and the captcha field. And then further we will declare two more supporting fields like for the captcha generation and then validation. Okay. So let me start the application development. So let me create a Spring Boot application. So this is the Spring Boot captcha example I am going to take. Captcha example, this is the captcha example and this is the default package I am going to take. And the dependency, so there is the lots of dependency I'm going to use, so you be careful. Like first dependency I'm going to use this Spring Web to make our RESTful web application, and the second one is Thymeleaf. If you search here Thymeleaf, this is the next one, and there is the Spring Data JPA to use the JPA concept. Spring Data JPA. So the next one is I'm going to use S2 database. Actually in built database I'm going to use. You can take any other database as well, like MySQL, Oracle, and any other. And there is one more dependency I'm going to use here, Lombok dependency. And then Spring Boot DevTools. DevTools. So these all are dependency I am going to use. So you can take a notes of this one, and this, let me create the project. Lombok dependency, basically I will create one more video so you can go through that. What is the Lombok dependency? So in place of using the constructor and all to string generations, we can simply use the help of Lombok API. So let me open this. Okay, so you will get your all the dependency added on this form.xml file. So apart from this added dependency, I need to add two more dependency related to the captcha generation and all. So let me copy that. I have already written here. So if you see here, let me copy and paste it over there. So these two dependency I have used. So let me make it a some proper way. So the one is first one is I have used this simple captcha from this website. So this is the website you can also use. So this is the simple captcha to generate the captcha, and JAXB for parsing our model classes. Okay. So these two dependency basically you need to add manually here, or you can get it from the ambient repository if it is there. But I have taken here is manually. Okay, fine. So next, go ahead, and now we need to create. Let me provide the some basic properties. So I'm going to use the S2 database. So basically S2 database configurations. Actually, you need to enable the S2 console. So for that, spring dot S2 dot console dot enable is equal to true. And the next is spring dot data source dot URL. Basically, we need to provide the URL. So the URL is JDBC colon S2 colon MEM colon and the name of your database schema. So I have taken it as Captcha DB. So you can take any name here in place of Captcha DB. And there is I am going to use some Hibernate configuration as well. Hibernate config. So first one is I am going to use to show the SQL query. Spring.jpa.showSQL so that I can understand what is the query it is internally executing. And the next is spring.jpa.hibernate.ddl auto. So if you see here, if you uh, press control space, you will get there is a multiple way create to create this schema and destroy the previous data. Create and drop. Create and then destroy the schema at another session. None. Disable DDL handling. Update, basically update the schema if necessary. That means if there is the schema available, so that will update this schema. So I'm going to use this one. So once application is terminated, we can just it will create your once again the schema. Okay. Now let's start to create the packages. So let me create one package here. com.java talent dot entity class I'm going to create. So let me create the model package and create the model class. So I'm going to create the user as the model class here. Okay. So let me start. So first one, I'm going to use the data as the dependency. Okay. Okay, let me see. Okay, now coming. Lombok API. The data is coming from the Lombok API. What is the use of it? See, generates the getters for all fields, a useful tool string method and hash code and all. So there is no requirement to check and use other. Like there is the way in this API you will get getters, setter, no argument construction, all argument construction, such type of annotation is there. At the rate data and at the rate entity. Fine. So let's see entity specified that the class is an entity class and applied to the entity class details. And here I'm going to use the table name. So for that I need to use this table annotations. And there is the way I need to define the table name manually. So I wanted to use my table name as user underscore details table. So it will create the table as user underscore details. Okay. And there is three fields. Basically, I'm going to define private int ID, private string name, and then email ID, private string email. Fine. So this is the three fields basically for the insertion of our table details. So let me make it as @ID to make the specify the primary key, and then I will generate the value by using the generate value annotation. So it will be so it will provide the specifications for generation strategy, which type of values for the primary key I'm going to use. Then it will automatically generate the value of ID. And then apart from these three fields, I'm going to use private string captcha. It will not take a part during our insertions. When within the table, this field will not be inserted. So for that, I will need to use the @transient keyword. So let me do that. Private string captcha. So this captcha I'm going to use hidden captcha, means to verify that our captcha is validated or not. And the third one is private string real captcha to validate that captcha value. And these all three fields I do not want to participate in the insertion of the database. So I need to make this as transient. So see, specify the property of the field is not persistent. It is not. It is used to annotate the property of field to entity class, map the superclass or embedded class. So this I am going to use for all these three fields. Okay. So let me. So this is the our model class. Okay. So now the next is I need to create the repo class, repository class. So let me create one package com.javatalent.repo. So this is our package, and then I will create one interface user repository. User repository. So this interface will extend from the JPA repository. So JPA repository. Okay. So once you create your interface user repository extending JPA repository, so here we need to make it as our model class and then the type of the ID integer. Fine, our repository class is ready. And then our interface is ready. Then the next one is we need to create the service class and service interface. Basically, I'm going to take and then implementation of that service interface. So let me create one more package com dot java talent dot service, and then I will create the interface. I user service basically. Okay. So here I'm going to create the method. So where create user of user, defining the method user of user. First method I'm going to use for create user. Then the second method is to provide a list of registered users. So get all users java.util.list. And the next one is I am taking the optional interface here, optional user, get one user based on the ID. These three methods I have defined here. Okay. And then as per this one, I need to create the implementation class. So user service IMPL class by user by implementing this interface. So I'm using this class service implementation class. So for that I need to make this as annotations to make this as service class. And here I will need to write the logic. So first method will create the user and it will not return anything. So before of that, let me auto wire the repository class private user repository repo, because I'm going to use that repo here. So at the rate auto wire. Okay. So here created user. So repo dot save method is there. Repo dot save method of user. So it will save the user. The second one is it will return the all users. So repo dot find all method is there. So it will return your all the registered user. And here repo dot find by ID is there. So these three methods I have used from the JPA repository. So if you see it is coming from this CRUD repository. And if you can go within this one, this will be come from this all the repository interfaces. Okay, so our service implementation class is ready. And then the next one is I need to create the utility class to generate the Captcha. So for generation of the Captcha, let me create one more package com.javatalent.utility. Now I'm going to create the utility class. So that utility class is nothing but Captcha utility. Captcha utility class. Okay. So this is the main logic where we need to type to create the Captcha generation and all. Okay. So creating Captcha object. First, let me create the Captcha object. So for that, I need to create the method. One method static Captcha create Captcha method. So public static Captcha create Captcha. It will be width for that Captcha and height of that Captcha, HEIGST. Fine. So there is the two value we needs to provide to create this captcha. Okay. So let me do that. So let me return new captcha. I'm going to use the builder method help. Captcha dot builder width and height. Same width. I'm going to give here width and height. Okay. Then add background. Add background. So here I'm going to pass the background of that captcha. New gradiated background. New gradiated background producer. So this is the background I'm going to use. Then add text. What text I'm going to use? So that text is nothing but default one. So let me default text producer and then default word render. So it will render the always the new word, default word renderer. So it will generate your new word always. So add noise to using the default noise and then new curved line noise producer. So if you want, you can take the color and all, plot width and then all details, then build basically. See, so this is our captcha generation method. Okay, so it will generate your captcha and then we need to convert it to the binary of string. So let me write the logic converting to binary string public static string encoded character. So it will encode captcha. Okay. So first, let me pass that captcha here. Captcha of captcha. Okay. Encode captcha. Captcha of captcha string image is equal to null basically, and then it will throw the exceptions. So let me bound it to the try and catch. What is that? Byte array output stream. Byte array. Byte array output stream. Byte array output stream is equal to new byte array output stream. New byte array output stream. Image IO dot write render image value means the captcha and then captcha dot kt means here basically. Okay, and then the next one is string value of that value. So string, I'm just going to take it as JPG, and then here the byte of array of output string. Okay, now byte array is equal to base 64 dot base 64 dot get encoder. Basically, I am encoding that value. in code of dos dot to byte array. Okay, fine. So here I need to catch that exception. Dot print status, and then after that I need to return that image. So basically, byte of string here we are converting that to array, and then here one thing is like we need to possess to that image. Image is equal to new string of this byte array. So to that string, basically here this string we needs to map, and then after this one we needs to return that image. Okay, so this will be the logic for binary conversions, and then making this as the base64 encoder format. So this is our Captcha utility class. So we are fine now. Now the next step is we need to create our controller class. So let me create the package com.java-talent.controller. So here I'm going to create the controller class user controller. Make it as controller, and here I'm going to take the help of request mapping to make our request here user. And now here I need to auto wire the interface service interface, basically private iUser service auto wired and then I need to create the our actual method public string register user, and then our model class, basically model. Okay, and then here user of user is equal to new user, because not controller, user class, okay. User of user, user get captcha of that user, get captcha of user, and then we need to add that as the model attribute. Model dot add attribute of that particular user. So here user, okay, and then return that our actual model and view. So this is our UI register user. Okay, so let me create the get captcha method at the bottom. So this will be the private method, private void get captcha of um, user. Basically we are going to provide that as the user to validate user of user, and here captcha is equal to captcha dot captcha util dot create captcha. Here I'm going to create the captcha. Captcha util dot create captcha of here it will be size. So let me define the size 240 and then 70 of height. Okay, and then user dot create hidden captcha. Hidden captcha is equal to captcha dot get answer. Captcha dot get answer. Then the next one is user dot set captcha, and this will be value given by the user. So I am putting it as null. So here this will be value entered by user. Perfect. And then user dot set real captcha. We are validating and setting the real captcha. Captcha util dot encoded captcha. Encode captcha of that captcha. Fine. So this is our get captcha method. Perfect. And this is our first method. So it will be a get call. So let me make it as at the rate get mapping of users we have taken. So it will be register. Let me take it as register slash user and then slash register. So that it will be asked to register the user, and then we need to create our model and view as the HTML pages I will going to create as register user. Okay. Next method is register user we have completed, and then the save user public string save user, and here it will be user of user. It will be a post call and then model and view we are basically using here, and then at the rate model attribute of this user at the rate model attribute. Then I am going to check this user is get captcha equals means I am validating this user basically for saving the user. So let me make it as post call and the URL will be save, and then here if user dot get captcha dot equals user dot get hidden captcha, then user dot get captcha is equal to hidden captcha. Then we need to create the create user service dot create user. What is user? And then we need to make it as model dot add attribute. Model dot attribute is equal to we need to pass the message for the successful registration. So here message will be user registered successfully, and then we will return to that particular one more view I will create to list out all the registered users. So it will be basically redirect to that page, and that page will be all users. Fine. Else if this is not the successful scenario, then what it will do is it will model dot add attribute message message invalid captcha. Then the captcha will not be valid. Invalid captcha. If the captcha is not valid, we need to get the captcha for that users, and then we need to render the page. Add attribute for that same page, user registration user, and here we need to return the same register user page. One second, register user. Okay, our controller method is ready. So let me make it a big. Then the next one is list out all the users to call that this URL, basically all users. So let me create one more method, public string get all users, model get all users, model. So then it will be list out the user, list of user list is equal to service dot get all users, service dot get all users. Perfect. Model dot add attribute, model dot add attribute of user list, this page. Now it is coming. Let me. Oh, I have imported the wrong package. Let me remove list java.ut. So this list we need to import basically, and then here I need to return the page and return list users. Fine, our controller is ready. Perfect. Okay, so now we need to write our UI packages. Actually, for the UI, we have used the Thymeleaf. So we have only two packages, I mean HTML pages. Like first one is this register user, and the second one is list of users, list users. So these two pages we need to create. So let me go there. You need to go to this SRC main resources and templates, and here we need to create the HTML file. So let me copy that. Same name you need to copy because it will enter for that same name now. So it will be asked for that pages, and the other one is list users. Then create another file, list users dot html. So these two files we need to write. Okay. So to save the time, let me copy from the my note and I will demonstrate it. Okay. So register user. So this will be the register user. Let me take it. This one. So let me copy and I will demonstrate one by one. Here actually Bootstrap is also used. Bootstrap is the UI feature. So it will be render your modifications and customizations of your button and all. So you need to use. So Bootstrap I have used here. So if you want to go through the Bootstrap things, and then Bootstrap uh, card I have used. So Bootstrap card, if you want, you can go here, and you need to check, like, see, card style and CSS and all, it has been used. You can just copy and it will generate your div sections for you. So it will be very easy. And as per your content modifications, there is the way, like color and font and all you can use. See, I have used this way as well. So let me go. So you can create your image overlays, like for the particular border and all, right? Like card title, what it will be, card style, see, background and color. So this will be your header info color. And then if you want to see now, here go down, this one, header, card header, BG primary color, it is first one. Second one is secondary color, this one, and this will be a submit and all, like there is a multiple way. So header, then card header. So this will be a BG success color, BG danger color means red, BG warning color, so danger this one, and this is warning card, and this is info card, this is light card, and this is dark card title. So this will be applied. So I've used here in my code. So let me go and demonstrate. So like here, doc type I have used HTML, I have imported that, and meta character I have set it. And here title, you can insert your title. So basically this is registered users. So I need to user registration. Okay. So this will be your registration page. And this is style sheets I have used for Bootstrap applications. And from here, I used the head sections. It is the head section has been closed here basically, and this is the body container. So I've taken this class container and I have used this card, and this is the basic registration page. And then in this one, I have used here, if you see, three column, one div tag for this name, second one is for email I have created here, okay, and the third one I have taken for the captcha. So this will be a real captcha, it will be shown your web page, and this will be the enter captcha, this will be given through the users, and then this will be validating your page's value. Once you hit this registration, it will go to the submit, and then button is equal to submit success. This is the color, and here if you see the class I have used, this is the div class basically, and then it will be here if you see Thymeleaf code, Thymeleaf, if message not equal to null, if message not equal to null, then only it will go and give this message value. Okay, so this is the code. I will put it into my description. You can just copy it, this file, and the list of users, let me got it. So let me copy this one as well. So this is the list of users. So here I have given the title user registrations. You can pick anything, not an issue. And this is the list of users. So it will render all the registered users from your database. Actually, we have taken the S2 database. So whatever the stored users has been there from the table, it will list out all the users. So let me see this code. So simple till here, the same thing. And here, this is the container class. So I have used, and this is the card. So card I have used in this div sections for one, like this will be the header, and this will be a footer. So there is the way footer and header you can take it, and this is the card body. So this will be applied for your card header, and this will be your body. So here I am taking the table, basically table tag to generate one table. So it will list out all your value. So this is the table row basically for the header sections. So this will be a header, ID, name, and email. And this is the object I have created, Thymeleaf of each. So this is the basic loop. Whatever the value there in the user list, this user list we have taken. Let me go there, controller, this value. We have taken the model that attribute of user list. So this is our list of user list. This is the object dot id, object dot name, object dot email. These three fields coming from the your database. And here one registration link I have given for the button I have created for the user registration, and this will be our registration mapping. If you see your controller class user register, see user and register, this will be your register call. So one thing I have missed here in this controller, let me provide the, okay, here I have missed the all users one. Okay, so at the rate get mapping of all users, so it will list out all your users. So it will search for this one, and this will be hit this endpoint all users. See there. Okay, users list, it will take it and then add a user, and there is the one button I have given to add that particular. Let me do this way. So this will be one button, and then whatever the list of user is there, it will render the user on this page, and there is the one at the end of the page, there is the one button I have created to register one more user, so that you can go back for this register page, this register user page, and it will check, it will go for this user save, and then it will validate your captcha here and render the success page. So this is the basic Thymeleaf things and Bootstrap concept I have used for the UI thing. So now all code is completed. So the thing is we need to run our application. So to run our application, simply we need to run this application as Spring Boot, run as a Spring Boot application, and see the console. If there is no any problem, we are good. Okay, okay. So actually we have taken this properties. If you see your properties file, let me open that. Spring data, Spring JPA.SQL true. So for that reason, our query is coming. Hibernate create table user details, ID, primary key, and then email and name. Hibernate creates sequence. It has been generated one sequence. Hibernate sequence is the name with default value 1, because we have taken the generated value here. See, generated value. So it has been generating the default value for this ID, and it has been created the table. So see 8080, and somewhere you will find the H2 console. See, H2 console available at H2 console slash H2 console, and this is your database details. So let me open that database first. Localhost H2 console. You will find this one, and here JDBC URL is the same. Whatever the URL we have provided here, same URL we need to take. And once you provide the SA username, no need to provide any password. Default password is blank only. So you will get your table. See, user details table is coming here, because we have given our table name as manually user details here. See, if you have not given your any name here, it will be take this name and create your table. Value, it is there. Any value? No. You need to just select this table, but not select multiple times. Select this one and run. See, select star from user details. Table has been created with the column ID, email, and name, but there is no any value because we have not created the user yet. So let me create the user. Localhost 8080 user, and then slash register. Hit. It will ask for your user registration page. See, now user registration page is coming successfully, and title it has given as user registration. Here name, email, captcha, and enter captcha. It will validate once we will provide the name. So let me create one user, simple user one. Email ID is user1@gmail.com, and then here captcha will be yx4m5. Let me give the wrong captcha. What will happen? See, invalid captcha. And then now give the and see the console first. See, there is no problem because we have not given the failure scenario and we have not given any console output for that. But our application is fine. So let me provide the actual captcha GK7WA. See, user has been registered because earlier it was not there. There is no any user. Let me see the console. Run this one. See, ID1 with ID1 user1@gmail.com has been registered. Go to same page here. Click on add user. So it will go for again for the user registration page. See, user registration page is coming up. Same time, if you hit this all user details, it will render your users. See, one user is there, so for that reason there is one user. Let me create one more user, users2 user2@gmail.com, and C3GPE will be the captcha. It will be, oh sorry, invalid captcha. Let me create one more captcha. Validate, it might be there is some problem. We are not given the correct captcha. Okay, so two user has been registered. Let me add one more user, XFG3K, register. Three users has been registered. See the table, run this. See, three users already has been registered. Okay, so I have used the in-memory database, S2 database. You can take any database like Oracle, MySQL, and any other. Okay, yeah. Thanks for your time. Thank you so much. Please subscribe my channel and like my videos. Thank you.